When you ask questions, the answers are provided. And then that's when you can take the drive and the creativity and the solutions-based mindset to make it all come to fruition. You're never going to know it all.
Okay.
I don't know it all. You don't know it all.
Exactly.
Someone in the business 30 years is not going to know it all.
That's right.
Every transaction is different. So the second you stop learning or you think you know it all, you've lost. What works for you may not work for, A, B, C, and D. Find out what works for you, what clicks for you. Just keep one foot in front of the other no matter what you go through. Just keep it moving. Your day will go the way the corners of your mouth turn. So either you can walk around and be sad and take the wrong path and be mad at yourself or mad at the situation and not look in the mirror, or you can choose to smile.
Hello, I'm with Jenni Gallaudet, and she is in the Coral Springs Market Center of Keller Williams. She's a very good friend of mine. Welcome to the Give or Gain Show. Wanted to bring Jenni here because of her amazing expertise. She has created a tremendous amount of success, and she's a special guest. So thank you, Jenni, for being here.
Thank you so much for having me. I'm so excited.
Yes, I'm so glad you're here. I always learn so much from you, but I just want to get to know you a little bit better, and I would love for the newer agents coming up into the industry to learn a little bit about how you became so successful. And I mean, you've done some amazing things.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah, my pleasure. So how did you get into real estate?
That's a great question, and I get asked that all the time. And I don't think I have a simple answer other than I have just always been a people person, a people pleaser. I want to be a solution based. Tell me there's an issue and I want to find a solution for it. So when you merge those two things and you can help someone capitalize on an investment by selling their house and see see their money in their bank account, or at the same time hand a first-time home buyer the keys to their very first home, it is just an amazing feeling. It's just indescribable. So I would just say the desire and the need to just want to help people and be such a big part of a chapter in their book of life.
Absolutely. And I've seen you time and time again just stay committed to that. And personally, it's made me 22 years in, and I love that. That's what has me love the business, is watching that, having that experience. People knowing we're bringing people home.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Literally.
Yeah, exactly. You've been amazing at marketing yourself and creating Jenni Sells the Block, and just doing some amazing things to have really promoted yourself and have a certain, just a certain look that you've created, and it really works. How did you start that? Like, where did that all come from?
So the Jenni Sells the Block thing kind of fell in my lap. I had, prior to real estate, been in hospitality for many years, which bartending brings out your best of your personality in you, and you can have fun with your day-to-day stuff. So everyone always would say to me, "Oh, it's Jenni from the bar." Jenni from the bar. And then I got into real estate and someone said, "Oh, it's Jenni from the block." And I'm like, Jenni sells the block. And then it just clicked.
And it was born.
And then it's funny because you're saying about my marketing and this and that. I had a client that is a social media marketing manager out of state that wanted to work with me just because of Jenni Sells the Block.
I love it.
So it caught and it stuck, and just being the goofy, silly, honest, transparent person that I've always been. People know me, know that I'm a straight shooter, and I'm going to be fun and silly at the same time, and just being authentically myself, and it's just worked out.
Yeah, well, you are definitely authentic. You are. You bring so much joy into things. You make things fun. I've seen you time and time again where you have, there could be a stressful situation, but you bring lightheartedness to it, and you just find solutions.
Yeah.
Where does that come from, the solution-based thinking?
I think. So I grew up with two brothers.
Okay.
And I'm a middle child, and they played a lot of sports, and I was told, it's great now that women are doing everything, but I was told, that's for men, or you shouldn't do this, you should do that, or don't play baseball, play softball. And I was like, no. Yeah. Not only are you going to tell me I can't do it, I'm going to do it better than you. So I was always, I guess, on a course to prove to myself, if not to prove to others, that I can do these things. And going on to do sports that women did not do at the time that I did, such as, MMA fighting and, NHRA drag racing and stuff like that. It was like, okay, cool, I did it, I accomplished it. What else can I do? So it's kind of like a challenge mindset, I guess, that I've always had since a child. And now, you know, like we have deals like you with lending. Don't tell me that can't happen. We're going to find a reason or a way, a solution. No problems, only solutions. So,
I love that.
Yeah.
I love that. That's definitely something that we share. And I love that because in so many times of situations where it's really not even a problem. It's just a situation that needs to be addressed. But when you come from a solution-based mindset, you always come with a solution. And that is so powerful. It's amazing, right? Our brothers, what they've taught us.
Yes. Yeah. And no is not an option.
It's
so
right.
Tell me no, and I'm going to go right around you and find a yes.
Yes, I love that. I love that. Brothers, they do that for us. Definitely.
Yes. Yeah.
Let's talk a little bit about what are the things that you've done? What are the trends that the habits that you've had that have had you become so successful in real estate and really respected in real estate? Because a lot of people come to you for information, to answer questions. You know, where did the drive come from, and what are some of the things that you do every day or have done over the years to really get you to where you are right now?
I think that's a case-by-case basis and situation, right? So if I have a seller or a buyer or an agent coming for advice, it depends on the home, it depends on the family, and I think that being creative with each situation is what helps you kind of elevate. For example, if just like, let's take open houses for example. Don't just open the door and have some water and some cookies. If it's got a great backyard, let's throw a luau. Let's have a barbecue. We did that one year, and it was just focus on a fun party. You know, great, like get creative and very specific to the situation, because when you treat everything the same, then you're going to get the same result all the time.
Yeah. So, exactly. Yeah. You bring in creativity, individuality to it.
Absolutely.
Definitely.
Absolutely. And people want to feel that you're treating them like personal and different and one-on-one. Everybody wants to be a VIP, and everyone is a VIP. They should be in your book. So when they know that you've gone above and beyond and done something different that you haven't done for another client or a friend or a family member, how's that going to make them feel?
Really that's so good. Yeah, that's so good. It's so true, because it makes them feel like you paid attention to them specifically. Yeah.
Listen.
Any type of knowledge that you've received over the years? Is there any specific books or training that you've done that have given you? Because I mean, you're really great in almost anything with real estate, as far as first-time home buyers, investors. I mean, you really know. Where do you get the knowledge from?
To me, it's simple. It's you ask questions.
Yeah.
Right? If I'm sitting down with you and I don't know you and I'm just meeting you for the first time, the knowledge of how I can handle the situation for you, you're going to tell me without you even knowing. I'm going to ask you what's important to you. What's your next step? You know, what's important to you in a realtor? What's important to you in a lender? What do you love about this house? When you ask questions, the answers are provided. And then that's when you can take the drive and the creativity and the solutions-based mindset to make it all come to fruition.
Yes, that's so true. I've seen you do that. Yeah, I think that when you look at it from that perspective, there's not necessarily, what I'm hearing is there's not necessarily something to learn in general. Of course, there's the general stuff, the real estate stuff that you need to know, negotiating the contracts, the specifics. But specifically, when you learn what's most important to your client, you're able to give the best service and provide the best value.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
We're in a client-based, customer service-based business. If we're not listening to our clients' needs, what are we doing?
Yeah, I think when people first get into real estate, they feel like they need to know everything, and it can be so overwhelming, Like I know especially with lending, I always say it's important that we stay in our lanes, because a lot of times agents want to come in and they want to learn everything about the mortgage business, and it's what's most important is that you have somebody that you trust in the business, that you can get the information, and it can be a little overwhelming in the beginning trying to know everything. So if you had just a couple of things, if you were coming in new now, what would be something that you would say really put your attention on? Obviously listening to your clients' needs, but on the other side of it, more of the technical stuff, what is it? Maybe, knowing the contract. What would you say something that an agent really needs to know?
So I have this conversation quite often. Yeah. And I say usually about 3 things. Okay. The first thing is, you're never going to know it all. Okay. I don't know it all. You don't know it all. Exactly. Someone in the business 30 years is not going to know it all. That's right. Every transaction is different. So the second you stop learning or you think you know it all, you've lost.
That's it.
you've lost. The next thing I tell them is what works for you may not work for, A, B, C, and D, Bob, Sarah, Sally. Find out what works for you, what clicks for you. For me, because I was in the hospitality industry and being a bartender, what worked for me was going out and networking and meeting people.
Yeah.
So other people are really good on the phones if they've come from, a telemarketing background or a cold calling, let's just say sales background.
Yeah.
They'll hit those phones and that's what works for them. So don't think because Lynn is so successful, you have to follow Lynn's formula. So find out what works for you. And if you don't know that answer, then let's try it all until something fits.
Right. And that's when you create your identity in the business.
Absolutely.
Yeah. And we've gone places together and you know so many people. I'm like, how does she know? And it's just because you network constantly, but you network in a beautiful way. It's never you really, the name of the show is The Giver Gains. And the reason I created that is because it's the mentality I've learned over the years. The most successful people, they give. Yeah. They give a lot. And you have that beautiful talent and ability to, it is a talent. It's a natural state that you connect with people. And have you always been like that? Because I see you now as an adult, but were you like that your whole life? Because it seems like a trait that you learned, but it's so natural to you.
I just, I don't know that I have an exact answer for that. Going through situations in life, right? You have two paths you can take. Someone said something to me a long time ago, and they said, just keep one foot in front of the other no matter what you go through. Just keep it moving. Another thing that I keep in my mindset is that your day will go the way the corners of your mouth turn. So either you can walk around and be sad and take the wrong path and be mad at yourself or mad at the situation and not look in the mirror, or you can choose to smile and you can choose to take the right path and keep pushing. And with that, I think when I meet people and they're struggling because they don't know what career path they want to take, or they're the manager over at Tire Kingdom and they don't know how to manage their staff, and it's like, okay, well, let's talk. Let's ask the right questions and see what we can do to change your mindset, to change the way that your day is, to change your attitude. So when I just meet people, even if it's in line at Publix, and the mom's yelling at the kid because they just want a candy bar because they placed the candy bars on the cash out.
Exactly.
Like, it's not the child's fault.
Right, yeah.
So, you kind of maybe can interject and just change the mom's attitude. Like, have a conversation. So I think I've just been like a people pleaser. Like, life doesn't need to be, life is precious, as we know very well. And you've got to joke around and you've got to laugh and you've got to smile and you just have to stay positive. You have to.
Yeah. And I've seen you also walk through some personal, things in life happening. We're all going through life, and it's not always butterflies and rainbows. We have hard days, and real estate is a career. It's a long time that you can spend in it, and sometimes you have hard days. But what is I know that we've both shared some losses, and there's things that's happened, but what is something you would say, to someone new looking at the beginning of their career? A tool or a habit or a way of being that can help them through those hard days?
Partner up with an experienced agent and shadow them if you can. Be a mentee, be an intern if you need to. Read affirmations. I know you're big on affirmations as well. I am so big on affirmations, I probably spew them out to people and they just roll their eyes at me. And everywhere I go when someone's not having a great day, I'm like, you got to download this app, Write them on your mirror in your bathroom. Put them on a note in your dash in your car. And speak them out loud. You can't just read it. So when you're first starting out, you're going to hit speed bumps. We all are. But nothing good ever comes from anything easy. And you have to have a strong mindset to push through and a support system. So reach out to the other agents in the office that you see that are being positive. You're a product of your surroundings. You are who you go with. So just surround yourself with the right people and affirmations.
Yes, that's so important. If you could, let's just say you're looking back on your career and you've done some amazing things. You've taken on new opportunities, new adventures, let's say. But if you were looking back and it was, let's say, towards the end of your career, and you could really think like one thing you really want to be remembered for in real estate in your career, what would you say that you would want people to remember you by?
That I pushed them to, let me rephrase that. That I gave them the idea, opened a door and an opportunity to make investments, to build some generational wealth, some passive income that they never even thought about having. Life-changing,
Yeah.
Pertaining to real estate. If someone, it's a simple example. If instead of capitalizing on, the sale of your house to, buy another one, let's talk about keeping it.
Yeah.
Let's talk about generational wealth. Let's talk about, having some investments and building an investment portfolio. And most people don't think like that. You want to have different streams of income. And your average person is just going to buy a house, sell it, buy another one, sell it, buy another one, sell it, and go bigger and bigger and bigger until you start downsizing. So most people don't have that mindset. I would love if people look back when they have their young children grown, or even just something to pass along to their heirs and say, wow, I'm glad Jenni helped me go outside my comfort zone here because I wouldn't be where I'm at today.
I love that. I love that. Yeah, that is awesome. It is. And I know that for me, I remember specifically I was driving down University Drive one day, and it really hit me. It was a couple of years ago, actually. And it hit me that all the clients that were in contract that, maybe couldn't close, we were able to save the loan for them. And I thought about, like, over the last couple of years, all the equity that those people have built. And it really made me feel good about that. I'm so grateful that I was able to do that.
Yeah.
And I look back now at 22 years later, and I feel like, I'm still excited about it.
Yeah.
But I'm grateful for that. So it's something that I know we both share in that.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And it's just, look at, if you want to talk about like the opportunities that we had with a couple of the most recent clients that we shared together.
Exactly.
They would not have had other opportunities if it wasn't for people that didn't give up and created a better picture for them financially, and we got them a home, their first home. It was 2 clients, right?
Yes, yeah.
Both their first home.
Yep.
And otherwise, I don't think that people would have pushed as hard for them and got them, to where they are.
Yeah.
At such young ages, too.
Yeah. It's amazing.
Yeah.
Our one client was like 8 months pregnant, ready to go,
gosh.
she was moving with a huge belly and ready to go. But, it's true. One thing that I've noticed working with you, and I know you as a friend and also as professionally, but you are so committed to someone getting what it is that they initially wanted, and you help guide them through the confusion if they start to, because we're dealing with people's emotions, buying a home or even investing in real estate the first time, the second time, it's emotional.
Yeah.
And I can tell you, one of your gifts is that you guide people to what they initially wanted. You remind them of why they started in the first place.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And you get them to the closing table.
Yeah. You gotta, it's, again, nothing worth anything comes easy.
Right.
And, real estate is not HGTV. We don't open a door and make a big, huge check all the time, right? It's there's bumps and there's hurdles and there's, an obstacle course to navigate around at times. And it can be very stressful on the clients. And, it's just our job to keep them calm and, put things on the table that only have to be on the table, and just remind them from day one, like, remember when you pictured your Thanksgiving dinner at this dining room table?
Exactly.
Great, because I'll be there at 6 o'clock next year with you, and I'll bring the turkey.
Exactly.
But yeah, so then that's me throwing in the light joke after.
Right.
But
yeah,
you have to remind them of why they started to begin with.
Yes,
because it's easy to lose track. It very is.
100%.
Yeah.
It really is. And there's so much coming at a buyer or a seller in any throughout a transaction, and they're dealing with family members' ideas and concerns. And a lot of time, something could have happened to someone else and they're afraid for their loved one, but it's not their journey,
Right.
and it's that's the other part of the business that can be challenging, is making sure we're staying true to whatever that client's needs are, and dealing with outside forces that are trying to take their attention away. Not because not that the family members are trying to stop them from doing something great. They're just afraid for them.
Yeah.
And having to navigate that.
Right, and a lot of the times they haven't navigated it on their own either. So, I know you as well. I've had conversations with family members. Absolutely, have your mom call me.
Yes, all the
have
time.
Have your aunt call me. No problem. We'll talk.
Absolutely.
And it's just whoever we need to speak to get on board, you know, let's get on this bus and let's drive it.
Absolutely. I always say, like, if a dad, like, you know, especially if there's a younger female buyer, and her dad gets on the phone. I love that, actually.
Yeah.
And I always thank the dad. I always thank the father for coming on, because first of all, I know that it makes the client feel better, that they have the support of them, and I always want to acknowledge that. I want to make sure that they know that I see that, because it doesn't happen all the time. There's a lot of people out there that are on their own, making their own decisions, and they don't have that support.
Right.
So I think being able to acknowledge the love that's there, you know, we're dealing with family. It's a concern. They want to make sure they're taken care of, and being able to give that support is important, and acknowledging the support.
Of course, yeah. If they're important to you, they're important to us.
Exactly. Exactly. Well, Jenni, I appreciate you so much.
I love this so
Thank
much.
you so much for
Thank
coming
you.
on. And we will be back soon. This is Jenni G, Keller Williams, Coral Springs. And thanks again.
Thank you.
Thanks.